Okay, well, my history in politics actually goes back to 1964 when I was a senior in high school and I was a volunteer for Barry Goldwater. And then went on, finished high school, went to college, and was somewhat inactive and then moved to Texas. And 1976, I became active again in politics. I was always interested in public policy. I volunteered in several campaigns and actually met my wife in politics. She was volunteering for Nancy Judy, who was running against Jim Maddox for Congress in 1976. And then in 1980, I was chairman of a campaign for a district judge in Dallas County. One of my good friends ran for district judge and was one of the early Republicans to be elected countywide in Dallas. And then in 1982, I ran for the legislature. And I challenged an incumbent Republican who'd been in the legislature for 10 years. And myself and two other individuals ran against him. We barely got him into a runoff, and then we beat him in the runoff and served for 8 years in the Texas House.
So what gave you the sort of bug to finally run?
Well, I mean, I'd always been interested in public policy. I just think it's fascinating. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in the House. My main area of interest has always been public education. Improving the quality of public education for all Texans has been critically important to me. And it's currently that way in my present job, where workforce is a major issue. And my wife and I had both been active. I asked my wife's permission, she granted it, and actually she's the one who got me elected because she was much better known at the time than I was, and her friends became active and worked very hard in the campaign and dragged me across the line.
So you were active in Republican politics at a time when that was still really sort of on the rise in the state.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, and 1980 was really the first time that Republicans were elected countywide in Dallas County.
So, you know, did that give you any pause? Was there ever any sense that you might run as a Democrat when you looked at, you know, I mean, I think now the case is kind of reversed, where I think there, you know, we both know people that we won't name that probably could have run either way and decide to run where the action is and where party identification gives them an edge.
Well, I mean, I've been a Republican pretty much all my life, and I was running in a state house district that was a Republican district. Essentially, the primary was tantamount, as I used to say, to election. In this particular case, because it was a new district, a Democrat did run, but it was pretty much a token race on his part.
So did you go directly from the House to TAB?
No. I served for 8 years in the Texas House. I had all the fun I could afford. I always say that if I'd chosen my parents more carefully, I might still be serving, but it's a very expensive hobby to serve in the Texas House. And so I didn't run for re-election. I wasn't defeated, I just gave it up. And then in 1995, then Governor Bush appointed me to be chairman of the Texas Workforce Commission. It was a newly formed agency. And I did that for 2.5 years. And then for the last 14 years, I've been at the Texas Association of Business.